Welcome. It's Thursday night. Welcome to the Cantina Happy Hour. I am your host, David. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Debbie. Debbie, how are you this evening?
I'm fine. It's Thursday, as you say, Friday Eve.
Friday Eve. It is Friday.
I'm so ready. I am not ready for next week because it's supposed to be really gross weather.
Oh. Okay.
High 90s all week next week. I'm not ready.
Beauty. That's beautiful weather. What are you talking about?
Front.
No, because they're talking about humidity and heat index, and I'm like, no.
You're describing here.
Yeah, that's a.
I don't care. I don't live there. I live in Indiana.
That's a cool Tuesday here. So.
Plus, I don't want to be running my air conditioning. Makes the bills go up.
Mine hasn't had a day off.
Also with us tonight is Cam. Cam and Focus. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm quite tired. It's been a day, but
yeah, you won't even show us your picture, so I assume that.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could hide all kinds of stuff in the bags under my eyes right now.
I was gonna say you probably look like you've been hit by a train. So, but welcome anyway. Hope you're having fun. You're not up in you're up in Nashville now. I forgot about that. I was gonna say your Florida Panthers are still playing for the Cup, I believe.
No, that ended last night.
Did it end last night?
Yeah.
I stopped watching when the Stars got booted, so
yeah. I think they won it all. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Awesome. Also with us tonight is Andrew. Andrew, how are you this evening?
Melting, but I am still here. So that's good, I guess. Can't really follow Cam. I mean, how do I follow Cam? I'm not going to say, "Oh, I just had the best day ever." So I got.
Yeah, you're not in school or anything.
I am taking summer classes actually. So.
Good for you.
I'm taking 3. So.
Even better.
How many classes do you have tomorrow?
Well, it's kind of like each week you have a certain amount of school to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do that as long as I get done by the due date.
So you have time to watch 7.
You can watch 7 tomorrow.
Oh,
is that what you're saying?
All this work. I do. Yeah, I do.
This poor young child has never seen 7.
It's a travesty, I tell you.
I haven't seen the sequel 8 either. So
that is one of those movies. I watch that at least once a year. That's one of my.
I've been wanting to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I just forget I own it.
It's up there with like Jaws and The Exorcist. It's just a classic.
Well, don't praise it too high, because if I go with too high expectations.
No. Your expectations will be met. It is.
Yeah.
It's an amazing movie. It's great. If you don't like it, then
you're weird.
You're fired.
Something's wrong with you.
Well, I can tell you what's wrong with me. Something is already wrong with me. See, on the left side of my brain, there's nothing right. And on the right side of my brain, there's nothing left.
Oh my God.
God. Sweet Jesus.
Anyways. Moving right along.
What are we talking about tonight? Oh, yes.
Clone Wars.
Did we have any news this week? I don't think we did. Nothing special happening. I mean, the only thing really we've got even coming up is I guess Visions will drop here toward the end of the year, right?
Yeah, I want to say September or October.
And then Mandalorian and Grogu in May of next year. So
I do have a bit of a rant.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I don't know where this happened at. I think over in Britain somewhere. Anyways, Kathleen Kennedy did a showing of the original, not the special edition, original 1977 Star Wars for the people who were there.
Oh, like a theatrical run. Like a theatrical viewing. Okay,
yeah, but it was a one-time.
Yeah, it was a one-time thing. These critics, were there saying, it doesn't hold up and it's real janky and da-da-da-da-da. It's a 50 or
Almost
No.
50.
Almost 50-year-old film. Fans have been clamoring for the original, not the special editions, to come up. Yes,
well,
because
for at least 20 years.
That's what we grew up with.
Yeah.
And so these so-called film critics are just, they are trashing it. And I'm just like, well, yeah, it's not going to look good like, today, they were comparing it to today's movies. We did not have the technology then, which is why George kept changing it over the years with the special editions and whatnot. Because
even when George showed the original, they were like, in the 70s, people were like, this makes no sense. This is bad.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
The original cut, because Spielberg, you remember? People were like, not in the theater. I'm talking about before the theater.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not talking about.
That was the most amazing thing I had ever seen.
I'm talking about before.
I know they were talking about it while they were making it, saying, what is this all about? I don't understand this. And he's like, just wait. When it's all put together, it'll make sense. Which that can be said of any movie. So
yeah, I'm like, were there any critics there that were from that time?
Probably
from that era, like my age, Dave's age.
All them Gen Z and Gen Alpha critics that don't know crap from crap and walk around with their pants down.
I was just like, oh my God, we have been begging for George to re-release it. And he won't, because it's not up to what he envisioned for it, because the technology just was not there. Again, this is why he kept making revisions and he made the special editions and everything, because then the technology had kind of caught up a little bit and he could do what he wanted.
Now, if you do want to see the originals, there are ways to do it. Walmart released a special edition DVD in 2005, I believe it was. It released all 3 movies. There were 2 discs. And the first disc was the special edition and all the cool little special features for each movie. 2 discs for each movie.
I was about to say, for 3 movies, 2 discs.
No. 2 discs for each movie. So A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi. And the first disc was the special edition with all the cool special features and everything else. And the second disc was the original theatrical cut of the movie. And that was it. Basically, he did it to say, you see how bad it looks compared to how it looks now? And I happen to own all of those, by the way. So I'm cool. I know, but I also own digital copies that were ripped from the Laserdisc copies back in the late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in that neighborhood. Not the THX ones, the original Laserdiscs. So I do have digital copies of the original.
We gotta do a watch party.
I watch them every once in a while just because. I mean, granted, I'll jump onto. It's a lot easier for me to jump onto Disney Plus and say, okay, Disney Plus, it's all right there. And my digital copies are on Plex. If I really, really wanted to, I could just turn on Plex and it's fine. But regardless,
you gotta share with the.
Oh, Dave, I have a little story for you.
That's okay. I've got a little story myself. What do you got for me, Debbie?
Last week, my youngest, who lives with me, Andy, he sent me an Instagram, and because I was out smoking, and he came out and he goes, "What the hell is this?" And it was somebody loading Star Wars Laserdisc.
Nice.
He goes, "What is that?" I was like, "It's a Laserdisc." And he goes, "What is it though?" Because it was showing them loading it and whatnot.
Right.
He goes, "I have never heard of that."
It's beautiful.
I just thought it was funny. It was hilarious. I was cracking up.
I saw a guy on TikTok yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. I had to pull up we're speaking of the original copies of the movies. And he was on TikTok saying, "We got another Mandela effect going on." And I was, "Oh, all right, here we go. It's a Star Wars Mandela effect." I'm like, "Okay, what do you got?" Well, in the scene where they're in the trash compactor, and he says in the version that's on Disney Plus, he says shut down all the garbage masters on the detention level. He's yelling at 3PO, shut down all the garbage masters on the detention level. He said, now in the original version, it said trash compactors. And I was like, no, it didn't. No, and a lot of people were commenting, no, you're wrong about that. That's not a Mandela effect. He did say garbage. He goes, I'm sure it was trash compactors. So I went into my original version and I'm like watching, and I'm like, hey, he said garbage mashers. Look at that. That's the original version. You shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
I wish Disney
Trash
would
compactors.
put the original versions as like one of the extras on Disney Plus for like the original trilogy. Like you could watch the special.
They probably put it behind a paywall.
Right.
I honestly, and like Debbie said, Lucas won't release it because Lucas doesn't want his new stuff to look bad compared, or look too good compared to the old. He won't release it for some reason. We'll just say he doesn't want it released, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
But I've got this funny feeling that when he passes, they will release and please, long time, but when he passes, it would not surprise me at all if they released an edition of those movies on Blu-ray that were the original theatrical cuts. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, if they don't, it wouldn't surprise me either. But if they do, I'm be like, oh, that makes sense. He's gone now, so he can't complain about it.
Well, there's a British museum, I assume a film industry museum, and they called George Lucas because they wanted the original Star Wars,
the Prince, right?
Yeah, for to put in the museum or whatever, and he sent them the special edition, and they were like, no, we want the original. And he was like, never gonna happen. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts it in his will or whatever that I don't care if I've passed, you are not getting this. He's probably destroyed him.
Well, I think he said before in the past that the original cuts of the movies don't exist anymore. Which I look at that and go, yeah, but with technology the way it is, it's not hard for anybody to get a VHS copy, get a Betamax copy, get a Laserdisc copy, get a copy of the ones that I got from Walmart, the special edition copies, and say, here, there it is. We're going to make copies of this one. It'll be fine. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Yes, we are. Well, we'll get there.
We haven't gotten to it yet. We've been ranting.
It's kind of a short episode, so we're just kind of filling in. We're talking about the original trilogy.
I mean, and with the originals, like I know I have the THX version on VHS, but I mean, I would love to watch the one that was shown in theaters for each one.
Well, and the THX version, I mean, that, for lack of a better term, that is the only thing that they did with that was they cleaned the copy up. So it wasn't like they didn't change anything. Nothing was added. Nothing was subtracted. It was all the exact same movies. It was just they went through and polished the film basically so that it and made it sound better and made it look better, but not enhanced look better. They enhanced it. That's
I saw a video the other day that showed when the Death Star was blown up in A New Hope, and it was the 1977 and then 2004 and then 2019, which was kind of cool. It's a big explosion now, but then back then it was just like, boop,
See, that was the perfect sound effect to put on that too.
So, I always have hope that yes, they will release the original editions again. Like I said, possibly after his passing.
It's probably more realistic to just buy a DeLorean, turn it into a time machine, go back to 1977 than it would be for George to be like, sure,
I saw, speaking of DeLoreans, and you'll find this funny. I stayed home sick from work today because my tummy was not happy with me. But while I was sitting here, was watching TV and I watched A Million Ways to Die in the West. It's Seth MacFarlane and Charlize Theron and Liam Neeson. But Christopher Lloyd had an amazing cameo in the movie. And basically it's a Western, and it's a guy who's like this. He's kind of a weenie, lives in the West, and he kind of does everything he can to avoid dying. And at one scene, he's walking down the street of the town and he sees this barn light up, and it's all blue, all these blue lights and everything. And he sticks his head in the barn. And he goes, "What's going on here?" And it's Christopher Lloyd, and he covers up what's very obviously the back end of a DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just
That's
doing
funny.
a little weather experiment. Oh, all
Did you
right.
get a permit for that? Yeah, I've got it somewhere here. Yeah. You know,
So, anyway,
if I owned a DeLorean, I would probably only drive it from time to time.
Oh my god.
Where are you getting these dad jokes?
Well, as a matter of fact,
why
no, I'm
are
kidding.
you getting these?
Do you have a
jokes?
dad joke book or something?
Probably somewhere.
We need to do like a swear jar, but instead of swears, it's dad jokes.
Dad jokes. Yeah.
Well, a man and a giraffe walk into a bar. Giraffe and man get into a fight. Giraffe falls over. Man goes to leave the bar. Bartender says, "Hey, you can't leave that lion there." And the man says, "It's not a lion, it's a giraffe."
Uh,
I saw that one coming. Yeah.
okay, well, how about this?
That was just like your grandma's feet, only twice as old and twice as corny.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez. A snake walks into a bar. The bartender asks, "How'd you do that?"
This piece of string walks into the bar, and the bartender says, "Hey, we don't serve string here." So the string goes back out into the street and curls himself up and twists himself up and starts cutting himself and shaving himself and everything else. And he walks back in, and the bartender says, "Hey, I told you we don't serve no string." He said, "No, I'm afraid not."
Horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Hey." Horse says, "No thanks."
One guy
So,
walked into a bar, and the other guy ducked.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Clone Wars, shall we?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. So, rookies. This is one of my favorite episodes. I love the episodes that really only deal with clones. I really like the episodes that not only deal there's an arc where it goes back to Camino and it shows like a lot of the training stuff. And yeah, there's Jedi in that one, but they're not principal. It's the clones. I like the human. I think that was one of the reasons why Rogue One appealed so much to me, because it was the human aspect. I say human, the normal person aspect of Star Wars versus the Jedi or the Sith or anything like that. So this is again one of my favorite. Other than that, we get introduced to Echo in this one. We get introduced to Fives in this one. We get introduced to Rex. This is Rex's first appearance too. So I mean, there's a whole lot of intros in this one. And
was it Hex or Hexy was the clone that sacrificed himself?
No.
No, that was heavy.
Heavy. Okay, there you go.
And then the guy that got eaten by the eel was Cut Up.
That's right.
Which I thought was an odd name. Cut Up.
Yeah, it's kind of what happened to him. But anyway.
No, he was chomped.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he was bit. Yeah.
But so basically, you've got these clones. They're what they call shinies, which basically means that their armor is shiny. I
was waiting for one of the rookies to go, "Would a rookie have these?" Yeah,
please. I'm glad they did. I'm glad they learned their lesson from the movie on that one. But I mean, Rex is very obviously not a. Him and Rex and Cody are out doing, what do you call it, like inspections. So they're just going site to site, inspecting the troops, blah, blah, blah. The other guys are at this post, and it's middle of nowhere, very boring. I think they even say at some point, "Oh, let me check the cameras. Oh, look,
Yeah.
nothing there, just like the last few times." Oh, good, I can go over the regs again. But they're itching. You can tell that they make, we should be out there fighting droids, not standing here doing this. So anyway, but of course the droids use that as an opportunity to invade. They want the listening posts there so that they are not. How did it? The separatists want to invade Camino, and if the outpost is there transmitting, then they can't. They want to go unnoticed through the outpost, basically. So, anyway, and then of course all the havoc ensues. The new guys.
Yeah, they have their like droids that like take. They get rid of the clones, and they have like the helmet. And he does the voice, and he says like "Roger, Roger," and that's when Cody's like, something's up.
Well, and
he knew before technically, but that kind of confirmed it.
But they use the same trick on them too, on the droids when they were trying to get back in.
Yeah,
because it was like, "Hello, I'm here, Roger, Roger." Yeah. And he says, "Let me see your face." And he goes, "Okay," and he sticks the head up, and I was like, nice. So
that makes me think of, I just watched, painfully just watched The Predator the other day. And when the Predator gets into one of the military trucks and he like, just, cuts everyone up, and the driver's like, "Everything all right?" Predator grabs one of the arms, and sticks the hand through with the thumbs up. And the guy's like, "Oh, great." And he's like, "All right, everyone's fine." And I'm like, "Oh, come
God,
on."
I hated that so much.
Wow. You know what? I had never seen that, and now I'm kind of glad I've never seen that.
You should be glad, because
really the only Predator movies usually that need to be watched are Predator, Prey, and Killer of Killers.
Okay, I haven't seen that. I have not seen Killer of Killers yet. So
that was really good. I kind of went in with low expectations because it was animated, but holy crap!
I was gonna say I just watched Prey earlier today. I think that's my favorite movie in the series.
That was good too.
Don't get me wrong, I love the original, but Prey was like, oh man, this
original
Get to the chopper.
To the chopper. Yeah. No,
dude, Predator
give me the weapon. No, he didn't kill you because you weren't armed.
I know.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
I gotta tell you, Predator 2 was rough to get through. That was just anyway, clones.
And I don't like any of the Predator versus
AVP.
Yeah, I gotta get
I don't like those.
Well, you had Predators. Was that the one where they were on the planet? They were on like a
Agent Predator. I actually thought that one was good.
Predators, and then The Predator.
The Predator is just dumb.
Yeah, the one with Boyd Holbrook and the one guy from Key and Peele and
Keegan-Michael Key, and then Sterling K. Brown.
See, I didn't see that one.
I hated that one so much.
That one is one where
through the Predators. I got about halfway through that one, and then I was like, I can't.
I was telling Cam, because I said with all the movies, you have a group like 5 or 6 people. There's like the main character, so the other characters get killed off. And that main character's like, "Oh, I made it," But in the Predators, they don't even write off the deaths in like a good way. It's like these characters have to die. So, oops, I tripped and my gun went off. Or Sterling K. Brown, the villain, kills himself with the own Predator weapon without even not even trying. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, anyway. Cinema. I'll tell you that.
Now, what irked me about this episode was Cody the clones aren't responding to any of the calls from the rebel ship, Obi-Wan or whoever. And I mean, they just kind of like push it off, and I'm like,
come on, guys.
Why are you not at least send Anakin or somebody to go investigate? What's going on? Why, It just really irked me. I was
they kind of covered it by saying, well, if it's still broadcasting, they must be okay. If they're still broadcasting the all clear signal, everything must be fine. So maybe their comms are just down or something, which it's kind of a reach.
Wouldn't you, because you're okay, Grievous is being an ass. He's, and they're looking for him. And it's like, okay, if you're not getting any kind of response outside of the all clear beacon or whatever, wouldn't you think that maybe communication is being jammed? The comms are being jammed. Why would the comms be jammed? Oh, gee, I don't know. Maybe Grievous is there.
And it
No,
gets me.
he wouldn't go there.
And when they finally blew the station, it was amazing how fast they got there too. They were just all of a sudden it was like the station blew up, and then it was like all of a sudden, oh no, they blew up the station. Oh no, the Republic fleet's like right there. It was like,
and then you get the droid humor, because the droid says, "Isn't it better that it was blown up?" And Grievous goes, "Idiot."
Yeah,
they're gonna be right there,
Yeah, and there again, I was like, okay, you showed up at a moment's notice as soon as that base was blown with what, like 10 ships?
With a fleet, yeah.
But you couldn't have sent at least one to go investigate?
Say, hey. Yeah.
I mean, that irked me about this episode. I was just like...
And something else too. They're saying, okay, we need to find Grievous. Well, what exactly are they doing to find Grievous? They're standing around in their ship and they're staring at a map going, where could he be? What system could he possibly be in right now? And I'm like, why aren't you sending some of those ships to... Did you give her catnip?
I don't know what the hell she's doing. I just, out of my peripheral, I could see her going. I was like, what the hell? At least she's not attacking my hair, so.
Yeah, she leaned in a couple of times. I was waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
So, but again, so I'm looking at it going, why wouldn't you say, okay, we're going to send these two ships out to this system and these two ships out to this system. We're going to send probe droids out, whatever, instead of just it's basically like you're being very reactive with all of this. It's like, we're going to wait for him to make a move and then we're going to jump versus let's go hunting.
They're playing offense instead of defense.
Well, and something else too. And again, this is living in Texas. This happens in Texas a lot. I'm sure it happens other places, but I always hear guys talking about, I'm going hunting. I'm going hunting this weekend. All right, that's cool. What are you doing? Well, we put out corn feeders, and then we have a big chair tied up to the top of a tree, and we're going to go climb up the tree, sit in that chair, and wait for the deer to come. It's like, so you're not really hunting then, are you? You're just kind of shooting fish in a barrel at this point. You've got the deer trained to come right where you want them to, so you don't have to do anything. You can just sit there and shoot, right? All right, that's cool. That's not really hunting, but that's like people who say, oh, I'm going camping this weekend. You are? That's cool. Where are you going? Well, there's an RV park about 3 miles. And it's like, what? RV park? Yeah, we're taking the 30-foot long motorhome.
With air conditioning and indoor plumbing.
And it's got a TV and everything. It's like, well, then you're not really...
Makes me think of
a
Goofy movie when Pete goes camping and he's got this huge RV and it just extends to like a house.
It's got a bowling alley on the top of it.
Yeah. So, again, Anakin, if you're going to go hunting, go hunting. Go look for them. Don't just sit there and say, we're going to go hunt for Grievous. Let's stand around and think about where he might be, or let's wait for him to make an attack. And then once we see where he is, then we'll go jump there. So,
yeah, because my thought is, where's the most obvious place he would go? Wouldn't he want to take out the Camino?
You would think, okay, well,
a not heavily guarded.
Let's think of high value targets and then position our troops there to where it's like, okay, we can. Camino would be a good place that he would want to hit. Coruscant would be a good place because that's where the Senate and the Chancellor and everything is. Strategic military spots, you want to guard those. You have just made this deal with the Hutts to where you can use their space lanes. You might want to throw some ships out that way. Yeah, it happened in the movie. I'm still counting it. But anyway, so you might want to throw some ships out that way. Put your ships at some points where they're most likely going to be, and then send whatever ships you have left out looking for him, or to force him to make. The Clone Wars should have been over a lot quicker than what it was. Let's just say that.
That's true.
But what do I know? What do I know? I wasn't in the military or anything.
No.
Oh, wait, I was.
Oh, there he is with that little misdirect.
Oh, plot twist. Did not see that coming.
Didn't see that one coming, did ya?
Your profile picture definitely didn't give any hints towards that either. You know, an interesting fact about the Clone Wars as a show. James Arnold Taylor, I tell the story once that he and Matt would record lines together in the same room. And he said that they had cameras that would be filming their movements. So he said a lot of times if Obi-Wan is standing and doing this, and, you know, Anakin is standing and doing this, it's because James was actually doing this and Matt was actually doing this. So, like, their poses were to match, to, you know. Anyway.
So was Ashley Eckstein standing around doing this?
I guess. He didn't say in his story, but I would assume so.
All she did was stand around and cross her arms. Rosario Dawson stinks because all she did was stand around and cross her arms. Like, yeah, Ahsoka did that a lot too. Obviously, you didn't watch the Clone Wars. All right. Or Rebels.
Well, I don't watch that. I don't like watching cartoons.
I don't want to watch cartoons. When you're not getting the whole story, you can't.
Anyway, I'm going to go back down to my parents' basement. That's when you say, oh, this is an average Redditor, you know.
So, yeah, it's whatever. Whatevs. But anyway, so we had Fives, Echo, and who else survived? Fives, Echo, and Heavy. Were those the only three that got out, and then Heavy sacrificed himself?
Yes. Yeah.
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 They were the only. Well, there was Cutter got out too, but then he was attacked by the eel.
Yeah. Now, watching this episode, I don't remember ever recognizing it, and I don't know if it was what I think it was, but when Heavy was there by himself and he's getting attacked by the droids, and you know he gets shot down, and he's trying to crawl towards the was it liquid Tibanian, whatever he had set to blow up. Okay. But while he's crawling, it sounds like a heartbeat as he's crawling. And did anybody else notice that, or am I just imagining
Actually,
things?
yes. No, I didn't.
I had missed it completely, but now I'm going to go back and watch the episode again.
Yeah, I don't think I noticed that either, but yeah.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Sounds like that.
Yeah, but that was sad because it was like, oh no. I mean,
but you know,
we got to know him a little bit better than we did Cut Up, because Cut Up was kind of taken, you know, pretty early on.
Pretty quick.
But yeah, and that's one thing I really love about Clone Wars is that we get to know a lot about these clones individually.
And that's what
we kind of do in the movies, but not as much as we here.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that Yoda said in that first episode too, was, you know, let me see your eyes, because yes, while you're all clones, each one of you is different. And so there's always going to be the different story of the different battalions, the different squads, the different whatever. And we get to see the characters versus just, well, he's TK421 So
Yeah, they're not just numbers.
yeah.
And so it just makes every time as we get to know them throughout the 7 seasons, each death hits a little harder, especially during Order 66 when they turn.
Well, and yeah, you got to think. Okay, who else was in this one? Echo was in this one, and Echo's going to become a big player in the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
You'll have Captain Rex, who very obviously goes on to do a lot of stuff through Rebels. You've got Cody, who episode 3, that was, oh, here, you forgot this, and hands him his lightsaber, and then like 2 seconds later, blast him, because good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah, it may be a cartoon, but damn, it hits hard. Some of these episodes really hit hard.
And especially,
most of the most emotional episodes in the show center around the clones. Like, I can't wait for us to get to the episode where 99 dies.
Whoa, what?
99.
This is my first time watching through the series.
Oh, you lie.
Oh, crap.
Well, spoiler alert.
I tell you what, when I watched it, I cried. I was like, God damn it. Why?
All he wanted was to be a soldier.
Poor guy.
That was a very sad episode.
It was.
Was that the first season, or is that later on? I don't remember.
First or second? I know it's fairly early on in the series, but
because he's there with the other troops training, right? And they all go on to become ARC troopers, and we get a mention of the 501st in this one too. I think this one's the first one in the Clone Wars as well. So Rex is be very honored to have you, Fives and Echo, and the 501st. So,
and what wasn't the 501st the battalion that Anakin assaulted the Jedi Temple with?
It is. That's that was what became known as Vader's Fist. That was his basically his personal battalion.
Gotcha.
Now the 332nd, which was the group that went with Ahsoka to Mandalore, that was part of the 501st. He left them with her to go to Mandalore. So they didn't really. I mean, I guess they did. They split the battalion and said, "Okay, you guys go with her to Mandalore, and we're going to go back and help release Chancellor Palpatine." And then Order 66 happens, and everything just goes to pot, and so on, so on. In case you haven't seen episode 3, there are some spoilers going to be thrown around here.
Whoops.
Wait, what?
Darn it.
What's next? You're going to tell me that Padme dies or something?
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
So
you look so beautiful. It's only because I'm so in love with you.
No, I'm in love with you. Or, well, no, that's not what I meant, but yeah.
I'm sorry, but how did he ever become married, George? Right.
I ask myself that question every day.
I'm thinking, I was like, okay, if this is how you think romance is.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, if Anakin's been gone for months and he comes back and Padme is newly pregnant.
She wasn't newly pregnant.
Oh, she wasn't?
She was getting ready to have kids.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't know how to
I also look at it as Padme was telling Anakin, we can't let this happen. I'm a senator. You're a Jedi. Blah, 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 blah. You're right. It would destroy us. And then Anakin goes off and kills a bunch of Tusken Raiders. And she's like, oh, take me.
Never mind.
Take me. I'm yours. It's like, wow, that went really dark really fast.
And
He was
Yeah,
a manly
that
man,
was
and
the
she
point
was
that I,
turned on by it.
Padme's got a bit of a mean streak going on there.
that was the point that I made in my original Artemis Fowl video.
Oh.
Where I said, that they made Artemis Fowl just an innocent boy because they're afraid of having morally great characters, protagonists of Disney films. Whereas, in Attack of the Clones, Padme is somehow turned on by Anakin slaughtering an entire village.
Yeah, but we got to fix Han Solo.
Oh yeah, of course.
No. Again, when they made Greedo shoot at Han Solo, because that
I
made,
never understood that because I was like, all right, that's
Yeah.
hot that he shot
Yeah,
first.
he's a bad boy. Oh,
Exactly. Yes, he's a bad boy.
and then wait, Greedo shot first. He's not as bad as I thought he was.
Yeah,
He's just returning fire.
Greedo shoots first, and Han just glitches to the left.
Yeah, I do not accept that version. I'm sorry, George. That's not a version I will ever accept.
There are things within the special editions that I loved. That's not one of them. There are things that I hated. That was one of them. So
I love
sorry.
the part. One change I like in the special editions is when they grab the VHS tape while the movie's being made. Oh wait, different movie. Never mind.
We did get that new Spaceballs 2.
The search for more money.
Well, that's the way it was presented in the movie, but I would be, if they use that title, I'll be surprised.
No, it's the Schwartz Awakens.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So I don't know if it's kind of based on the sequels or.
That would be funny.
I know Bill Pullman's kid is supposed to be in it with him. Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement.
That's what I'm really excited for. Mel Brooks, when the
Thank you,
movie
sir.
comes out, he'll be 101.
Now we just have to figure out how to bring John Candy back from the dead.
Well, there's the. I don't know. You could do the Ghostbusters route.
Well, my thought on that is that what they're going to do is they'll probably make some kind of joke as to, well, he's a Mog and he only lives for, his lifespan's a lot shorter. Every year for him is like 7. So, because the dog, dog lives are shorter than humans. So
yeah. I mean, hey, if they get his family's consent, it could be like the Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Hey, have him come back as a Force ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry. A Schwartz ghost.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Oh, do we need to send the clones after you?
Sorry. All right, Debbie, did we miss anything?
I don't think so. Good episode. As you said,
episode.
Clone centric.
Yes, and I like the clone centric episodes. So, shameless. Oh, wait, Andrew, do we have any fan questions? Are we cool this week? Anything?
No, none at the moment.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Shameless plugs. What do we got tonight, Debbie?
Tomorrow night I will be over on the Geek and I podcast talking Star Trek, the original series. The episode is The Changeling. We also have an episode of
Snackame.
Thank you.
I'm pulling it up
coming
right
out
now.
tomorrow. Something about Sail Away.
Let me see.
Is that about Sailor Moon or something?
Sailor
Okay.
Moon. Yeah.
I was just guessing by the title because I don't know anime. Saturday Geek Gauntlet. Monday, over on MCU Mondays, we will be talking. Is it episode 6? Jessica Jones?
7, I believe.
7.
Gosh,
Oh,
I'm
see, look, now I gotta watch 7 because
It's in the cards. It's in
Yeah.
the cards. Karma is telling you, hey, you need to go watch 7.
Episode 7 of season 1, Jessica Jones. I didn't know if is Seth Minion off for a few weeks. They were
I
off
just
this
know there was
week. It
no. I was
canceled.
gonna say no show this week, but I don't know about next.
And of course, always on Wednesdays we have War of the Stars dropping episodes, and then we'll be back next week with Clone Wars episode 6.
Actually, I think I think we're in another arc next week.
Is it another arc?
I think so. Hang on, I'll look. Yes, it is episode 7 of Jessica Jones.
Cool.
Let's see. Think we got rookies. Oh yes. Downfall of a Droid and Duel of the Droids.
Oh yay, the droid arc.
Oh no!
This is not that droid arc. This is the one where
okay.
R2. This is the one where R2 gets kidnapped or stolen or whatever, and they've got to go find him.
Yeah, and there's an evil droid, and
So is it just 2 episodes?
It's 2 episodes, 6 and 7. Yeah.
okay.
Downfall.
That one I can handle. It's the other one I can't.
Yeah, I think we're all sick that week.
I was gonna say that one. I don't think that one's till like season 5. I believe.
Sick.
You know, I'm doing a good Grievous impression. You know.
So, Cam, do you have anything shameless plug wise?
Yeah, so yesterday we got together for Cam and Focus Weekly to discuss Don't Let the River Beast Get You, which was a fun watch. It was also one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and Andrew is doing his best imitation of a girl dancing in the movie.
I saw about half of it, and then I was like, "All right, I can't. I just can't. I just can't." I've seen better acting at a high school performance.
Yeah, it's
that's what Justin said. He was like, "It's like a school project."
I said that everybody was acting like they were in commercials.
Like the medicine commercials, you know, side effects include death.
I was half expecting, text to come across the screen listing off all the side effects of what I was watching. But yeah, that was yesterday because we had some technical difficulties on Sunday, so we had to kind of postpone. But this coming Sunday, we're going to be talking about a British medieval series called Dark Knight. Nothing to do with Batman.
Damn it!
I started watching that one too, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
a movie.
It's a TV series, but the first 7 episodes got released on separate DVDs because they're like 2 episode arcs that function as their own movies. The first 2 episodes especially because it's actually like one long story. And I have the first 3 DVDs. They were a huge part of my childhood. I love the series, as cheesy as it is. So we're going to be talking about those first 2 episodes this Sunday.
I will say this: the computer graphics in that show thus far are already leagues better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. So,
oh yeah. Oh, okay. Well, just wait until you get. This is going to be in episode 2. Just wait until you reach a section with a giant slug.
Okay.
Oh no!
It actually smacks its lips, even though it doesn't have lips.
Nice.
You hear it go.
Lovely.
I have no comment.
But yeah, that's going to be this Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard over on Cam and Focus.
Awesome.
Cam, you know you got true friends when you make us watch this stuff and we still show up.
Okay, I really feel like I should take that personal.
No, that's a good thing.
However,
it's how I feel with the River Beast because I love it. No, I don't. It's good. It's fun stuff.
Andrew, do you have any shameless plugs?
Everything up. Ditto. Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Everything normal. Well, very good then. That's going to do it for us tonight. You guys have a great, great weekend. We will see all of you next week right here in the Cantina. Have a great weekend, and may the force be with you all.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Pocket sand! Yeah!